Hello and welcome to this third video in our series for registered social care workers and social care managers and those working in the social care field regarding the NHS Wales e-Library. This video is going to take you through how to search the NHS Wales e-Library Library Catalogue. NHS Wales Library Search is the e-Library's online catalogue. This can be found in the centre of our page on our website just here. It has records for all of the e-journals, e-books, databases, guidelines and more that the e-library subscribes to, with the added extra that e-journals and e-books are available at article and chapter level. This means that you can search the catalogue for articles and book chapters from across thousands of journals and books rather than having to search each journal for content individually. NHS Wales Library Search is the first place to go when looking for information if you are new to the e-library or if you just want to find some information quickly. To get the most benefit from using NHS Wales Library Search, you need to sign in using your Open Athens username and password. To get started, I'm going to pop in a keyword search. Looked after children and press enter. You'll see along the top here a yellow bar that's asking you to sign in. So if you click sign in, you'll get a pop-up and the option that you need to choose is the last NHS Wales email address / Open Athens. So if you select this will automatically sign you in to Open Athens using Open Athens because you've already signed in beforehand. So you can see up here my name, Rachel Sully, so you can see this automatically logged you in. NHS Wales Library Search is also available in the Welsh language, so if you wish to use the tool in the Welsh medium, you simply click on your name in the top right, display language, English, and change it to Welsh. And you can see that all of the filters turn into the Welsh language and all of the links along the top as well. It won't translate the results into the Welsh language. The results will appear in the language in which they were published in. I'm just going to switch it back to English. There we go. And along the top here, there are a couple of links that are relevant to you. One is the e-library that will take you back to our website, and also the help option, which I'll click now, that will provide any further help and support that you may need for the catalogue. Just here, we've got who do I contact for support. For registered social workers and social care managers, you can email e-libraryaccess@socialcare.wales and they will be able to support you there. For anyone else, you can contact the NHS Wales e-Library team. So I'm just going to go back to my search here. As I mentioned earlier, the best way to search NHS Wales Library Search is by keyword or key term. So what I've done is searched for looked after children. Now you can see we've got quite a lot of results, nearly 6,000 results here. I'm just going to quickly scroll through so you can see the kinds of articles and chapters and books and things that we've picked up just by searching that key term. So you can see some of it is already relevant to social care. But you can see there are some things in here like this book, Hepatology, a textbook of liver disease, which probably isn't relevant to the search that we're wanting to complete here. One option you do have is by adding quotation marks around the term looked after children. Now what this will do is it will search for looked after children as one keyword rather than the term looked somewhere, after somewhere and children somewhere. Now you can see this in option 2 here where it's just got children highlighted rather than option 1 where it's got looked after children highlighted. And we'll see what I mean in a sec. If we click enter, you can see we've narrowed our results down to just under 1,000 this time rather than 6,000, and all of the results here have the term looked after children in the title. Now, the next thing you can do to narrow your search again is to perhaps add in another key term. So for example, you might be looking for outcomes relating to looked after children. So we can type the term outcome and search. Now this has brought our search down to 236 results, which is a lot more manageable for us in our search. On the right hand side, there's an option to tweak your results. There's a couple of filters that you can use if you want to narrow your search down any further. The key one that we tend to use most often is the creation date. So for example, you might want to bring this up to the last 10 years and refine. This has brought it down to 143 results now. Or you might want to refine it even further, say the last 5 years. You can select some of the other filters. We tend not to use all of these just because it can filter it down too much. You might end up omitting articles or papers that would be relevant. It's mainly the creation date that we would suggest using. Now we're going to talk through how to save some records and save some queries before we talk about accessing. Now, on the record itself, I'm just going to look at record number 2, which is Understanding Foster Placement Instability for Looked After Children. You can see a little pin icon here, add this item. Now, if you click on the pin, that's going to pop it in your little folder up here and save it for you for later. So rather than you having to go through each result and go in to look at the PDF straight away, you can just very quickly add the ones that you think are going to be relevant to you to your saved folder. So if I click the little pin icon up here, it's going to give me all of the saved items that I've saved before and the most recent, sorry, at the top just here. Now I'm going to go back. There's also an option to save your query. Now saving the query allows you to turn a notification on for the search as well. It will automatically populate the email field with the email address that you use to register with Open Athens. So if I click Save, what will happen then is that every time a new article comes up in this search, you'll get a notification to say that there's a new result, and then you can click that notification and it will populate the search for you. Basically saves you having to come in every couple of weeks to do the same search over and over again. You'll just get that notification. Now, if I go to the top right hand corner to my favorites, we can go to saved searches and you can see the saved search that I've got here. If you wish to, you can turn off the saved search. You can unset the notifications. You can also remove the search if you don't need them anymore. So for example, I don't need this bottom search anymore. So I can remove those from my search history. You can also see, as I just said, the search history that you've completed during this session. So for example, we started with looked after children. We then put looked after children outcome. Then we changed the creation date. And then this is the final search that we ended up with. So I'm just going to go back to my search. And now that we've done that, I just want to talk you through how to access an article. And we're going to stick with this article number 2 here. So if I would like to see the PDF for this article, I would click full text. And then once it loads, it's going to tell me where I can find this article through the eLibrary subscriptions. Now there are 2 options for this article. We can either access it through CINAR Plus, which is a database that has full text articles in there, or we can access direct from the publisher site. We tend to suggest going to the publisher's site because sometimes with databases there can be an embargo period. So for example, with CINAR, we can see that only the most recent 1 year the most recent 1 year is not available through the database, but with the publisher's site, we can see that we have access from 1996 to present because there's no end date there. So we recommend going to the publisher site wherever that's possible. So if you click Oxford University Press Medicine Collection, that will take you to the publisher site, automatically signing you in with Open Athens because you've already done that at the beginning of the session. and it will open up the article for you. It'll take you straight to that page. Now you can click PDF and you can download the PDF once that loads. You can save it on your computer, you can print it, you can do whatever you fancy with it. You can also send it to any other eligible users of the NHS Wales e-Library, so any colleagues that you wish to share that article with. So I'm just going to go back to the website. You can also just read the article on the web page if you prefer, and the abstract is there if you just wish to have a look at the abstract to figure out whether it is something you do want to read any further. Going back to NHS Wales LibrarySearch, there are some other really lovely little key things you can do on here that might be useful for you. The first is citation. So LibrarySearch will create a citation in a multiple of different methods for you. So for example, Harvard, and you can copy and paste this into your bibliography if you're writing an essay or if you need to reference it anywhere in a policy. The only thing we recommend is just double check the reference for accuracy before including them in your work. So for example, if you're submitting it for a university-led course, just make sure it also conforms with the university style guide. But it's a good starting point should you need the reference. Another option is the permalink. This link here, if you copy and paste that and share that with a colleague, it will take them to this web page and then they can go in and download the PDF themselves. It's just another way, say for example, if you wanted to add some articles for colleagues to refer to, if you would like to share it or if you want to pop it on a website, then this is a really nice way of doing it to ensure that people can access through Open Athens. If you just gave them a link to the article here, they would have to try and navigate or find out how to sign in, and it can be a bit clunky, so we recommend using the permalink just there. Just to say as well, if something isn't working, if you find that when you click on online access and it's not getting you to the PDF, please report this to elibrary@wales.nhs.uk because that shouldn't be happening. That's an anomaly. If you have any access issues at all, please let us know because we can investigate this further for you. You might be the first person that's come across that access issue, and we rely on our users to let us know if something isn't working so we can rectify it for you. That's all for this video with regards to searching LibrarySearch for information. We're going to talk about how to access e-journals, e-books, and using Google Scholar in our next couple of videos. So we recommend you follow along for those too. Thank you.